Let's get into the spine today. In week 1, we focused on linear work, and today we're going to build on that, adding in some rotation. Starting on our mats, you can lie down, grab 2 tennis balls or a ball that has give and isn't too hard. Finding a lying down position, the feet will be planted on the mat. Take the 2 tennis balls to the low back, one on either side of the spine, and start to lie down onto the tennis balls. Let the head rest, hands can rest wherever they feel comfortable. And then legs either staying planted on the mat or extending to straighten. Whatever would feel best for you. And then just noticing the rise and the fall of your stomach with each and every breath. Imagine you could melt over the tennis balls with each and every exhale you take. Letting go of any tension through the jaw, finding space between the upper and the lower teeth, softening the space in between the eyebrows. Letting go of any grip in the toes. Just allow the body to find a little bit of rest. Here for another 30 seconds. And then start to plant the feet on the mat. Keep the tennis balls where they are. Take a moment to adjust with the feet on the mat. We're going to bring in some of that extension and flexion in the spine. Once again, keeping shoulders on the mat and hips on the mat. Take an inhale in and push down and towards those tennis balls. And then lift away from the tennis balls. Know that you might not lift fully off the tennis balls. It might just bring lightness. Exhale, push down. Find flexion. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push down. Thinking centimeters of movement here just through that lumbar spine. Pull away. Keep moving at the pace of your own breath. Thinking about applying as much pressure as you can on those tennis balls, flexing through the spine, and then pulling away, thinking about extending through the spine as if you're coming into a cow pose, but just through that low back. Now, if this is feeling good for you, you can think about holding that squeeze on the bottom for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lifting away. Find that extension for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing that as you'd like. We're going to take around 2 to 3 more rounds. Keep the hips planted on the mat. And then you can soften around those tennis balls once again. Take a moment to pause. And then either rolling down your mat or lifting the hips up, we're going to bring those tennis balls up the spine in between the low back and those shoulder blades. Still on either side of the spine, let the hips touch back down on the mat. Shoulders stay on the mat. And we just take our rounds of breath here. Notice if it feels a little tighter. It's completely normal as we have a little bit more limited range of motion here in our upper spine. Still imagining that you could melt around those tennis balls. We're holding here for another minute. And then if your feet are extended here, start to plant the feet back on the mat, hip width and distance. Take an inhale in. And on your exhale, push down in towards those tennis balls. Remember, shoulders and hips are planted on the mat. And then inhale, lift away from the tennis balls. Find lightness. Exhale, push down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push down. Continuing this movement at your own pace. And if it's feeling good here, you can start to bring in that hold, pushing down in towards the tennis balls, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then lifting away for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing either with that hold or just moving from extension to flexion. Taking 3 more rounds. Then relax it out. Imagine you could melt around those tennis balls one more time here. And we're going to move them up the spine. Now this one might be the trickiest one to get into, so either rolling down the mat or coming up to your seat, placing them under the shoulder blades. If you notice a few cuts, it's because my tennis balls were running away from me. So take your time as you get into this one, trying to make those tennis balls go in between the shoulder blades and then start to relax into it. Now this will probably be the stickiest point through the spine. So take your time as you breathe, draw those exhales nice and long so the body can start to relax. We're imagining that we're melting over those tennis balls once again. We'll be here for about another minute and a half. Maybe you start to notice that it feels a little less intense here, and maybe it's staying really intense for you. If that's the case, you can always skip the pushing down and pulling away and just continue to melt around those tennis balls, making sure that we're not working into anything that's painful, working only that pain-free range of motion. Now, when you're ready, plant the feet on the mat. Take an inhale in. And then exhale, push down in towards those tennis balls. Hold that tension, and then inhale, lift off. Keep the shoulders and the hips planted on the mat, moving at your own pace. Exhale, push down. Inhale, lift off. If this is feeling good, you can start to bring in that hold, pushing down into those tennis balls, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then lifting off. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 3 more rounds, pushing down, taking that hold if it's there for you, and then lifting off. Once you're done, just relax around those tennis balls. Once again, take one more breath. And then start to come off of the tennis balls. Find a lying down position just on your mat, noticing how that spine is feeling. Might feel nice to draw the knees in towards the chest, curl the shoulders off the mat, nose to knees. And then make your way up to a seat. You can get rid of those tennis balls for now. And if you'd like an elevated seat, grab that block, bolster, or pillow. Either sitting crisscrossed, legs out in front. Just think about a long, tall spine. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, rolling the shoulder blades down the back. And then taking an inhale in, let's draw the chin in towards the chest, starting with our neck cars. Find a stretch to the back, the neck here, and then drag the chin across the right collarbone. Nice and slowly drag the chin to shoulder, gaze to the side of the room. Now drop that right ear down towards the right shoulder. Imagine you could pour liquid out of that right ear. Notice where you feel the stretch. Then pull the chin up towards the ceiling, squeeze the back of the neck, find a stretch to the front of the neck, moving nice and slowly as you start to drop left ear down towards left shoulder. Imagine you could pour liquid out of that left ear. Draw chin to shoulder, gazing to the side of the room. Drag the chin across left collarbone. Come all the way back to center. Take a breath here. And on your exhale, drag the chin across left collarbone, moving that opposite direction, gaze to the side of the room. Drop the left ear down towards left shoulder. Pull the chin up towards the ceiling, gazing upwards. Moving nice and slow as you drop that right ear down towards the right shoulder. Imagine you could pour liquid out. Chin to shoulder, gaze to the side of the room. And drag the chin across the right collarbone, coming all the way back to center. Now holding here, squeeze the front of the neck. And as you start to drag the chin across the right collarbone, maintain that squeeze the whole time. It will start to transition to the right side of the neck, holding that squeeze through the whole round as you draw chin to shoulder with squeezing right side of the neck. And then drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder, trying to not let go of that squeeze sensation. Transfer the squeeze to the back of the neck as you squeeze the back of the neck, chin comes up towards the ceiling. And then we transfer that squeeze to that left side as you drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Pull chin to shoulder, gaze to the side of the room. And transfer the squeeze to the front of the neck as you drag the chin across left collarbone, coming all the way back to center, squeeze at the front of the neck. Now drag the chin across left collarbone. Draw chin to shoulder, maintaining that squeeze. Drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Pull the chin up towards the ceiling. Squeeze transfers to the back of the neck as you drop that right ear down towards the right shoulder. Pull chin to shoulder, gaze to the side, and transfer the stretch to the front of the neck as you drag the chin across the right collarbone, coming all the way back to center. Now draw that gaze back upwards, give yourself a nice shoulder roll down the back, and let's move into the rest of the spine. So taking that same principle, but moving it into our spine, you can stay on your elevated seat if that's comfortable, drawing the legs out into a straddle. Open the arms into a T beside the body, and then give yourself a nice big hug. Hands can find the shoulders or the elbows. We take an inhale in, and we squeeze the front of the core, rounding through the back, keeping the hips stacked. Now rotate towards that right foot. Start to drop the right shoulder towards the back of the mat. Draw the chest up towards the ceiling. Find your extension. And then drop the left shoulder towards the back corner of the mat. Rotate towards that left foot. And then squeeze the front of the core as you come back through to center. Same movement as the neck. We rotate opposite way towards that left foot. Drop the left shoulder. And then chest up towards the ceiling. Imagine a string is pulling that chest up before you drop that right shoulder towards the back of the mat. Twist towards that right side. And then crunch all the way back through to center. Let yourself go. Wrap yourself up that opposite way. And then start to squeeze the front of the core, crunching forward. Rotate towards that right foot. Drop that right shoulder. Chest towards the ceiling. String is pulling you into that extension. And then you drop the left shoulder. Twist towards the left foot. Come back through to center. Rotate towards the left foot. Drop the left shoulder. Chest towards the ceiling. Drop the right shoulder. Twist towards the right foot. And come back through to center. Now come onto your side, draw that block or bolster in between the knees and arms out in front of the body. You can always grab a pillow for under the head if you'd like to. We're going to squeeze the knees together, keeping those hips stacked so we're only rotating through the spine. Taking that top hand, drag the fingers along the mat, opening up the chest, keep that squeeze in the knees, and open the chest towards the ceiling. It's okay if the shoulders don't both glue to the mat. Take as long as you need here before dragging those fingers along the mat all the way back to close. Moving as fast or as slow as you'd like to. You can inhale, drag the fingers, squeeze the knees, open the chest, holding here if you'd like, and then closing off the chest. We're going to be here for about 1 minute, moving through that range of motion, nice and slowly. Take one more round wherever you are. And then once that arm is open towards the side of your mat, let the shoulders glue down to the mat, letting go of that squeeze in the knees. You can look over the opposite shoulder of the knees, finding a stretch to the neck. We'll just take a few rounds, finding a comfortable position here. Noticing how that body's feeling. One more breath where you are. And then nice and slowly, you can draw that gaze back to the same side of the knees and drag that arm back to close. Now switch onto that opposite side. Block stays in between the knees. Hands out in front of the body. And top hand starts to open. Drag the fingers, open the chest. Keeping that squeeze in the knees, gently drag the fingers back to close. Moving at your own pace, drag the fingers and open the chest. Squeeze in that block. Just working within your own range of motion here. We're going to be here for about another minute. One more round wherever you are. And then on this last one, opening the arms, dropping the shoulders, letting go of that squeeze to the knees, and then maybe gazing past the opposite shoulder away from the knees here, relaxing into a twist. Finding that breath. One more breath here. And then gently close off that chest, dragging the hands back together. You can remove that block from in between the knees, roll onto your back. Maybe you just take a moment to pause here, noticing how the spine is feeling, and we'll see you in the next video.